guys.
Yes, and we're back. Once again here with another map, another Dust2. What a surprise here. In the South American RMR, we play Dust2 quite frequently. We love to see it. Don't we, Anthony? We love Dust2. We love to see a B execute on a pistol round. This should go well. Only one, surely, to defend here. Ninja's alert smoke. And he's just hoping to find some spam. Does connect. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but they beat the punch on that smoke. Flash comes in just a little bit delayed, but the rotations are here and the responses are met. How many kills? Apparently not enough. There's the smoke bloom in front of the CTs. The kills don't. 2 on 3 for the retake. We all know the story of this site and its retakes, and yeah, ponter doesn't even want to think about it. Though we get to tune into history, and boy, can this guy be miraculous. Zhao, does he even want to get it? Oh my god, yeah, he's snuck behind enemy lines. There is no way history will expect something like this. So this round might just be thought, oh my god, history. Relax, dude. When will he contemplate the idea that he's gotten timing, though? I don't think ever. Yeah, no, he's going to get caught blindsided. See you later, bozo. Zhao says sit down, and the Corinthians find the first pistol.
Scary stuff, though, man. History on a round like that, you just know it's possible. But not meant to be in this occasion here, so starting off hot is Corinthians. Definitely need that off of a pretty dry overpass. Not much to be said about that one other than Arctic clearly the favors on that map. It showed it. They proved it. Scout, Force Spy coming through, though, to answer things back. They want to make sure that they're continuing to press the issue. No easy rounds for Corinthians. Nice little smoke.
Love the smoke. It's always fun to see.
Oink.
I mean, map is, you know, to say the very least, probably a little lead, but, I mean, some of these smokes are still pretty innovative.
That they are. The beauty of Counter-Strike. Even Dust2 you can find new things on somehow.
Arctic stay back to the slow default, though, and are going to force Corinthians to make the first move. Without a lot of presence on their rifles, Arctic needs something to go their way. And this time the Corinthians, I'll say they're being a little bit more fast about it. The last couple of times we saw them lose rounds like this was because they just waited so long. They didn't do anything. They played against the timer, and the timer got the better of them. Did they just miss the mid to B smoke?
I don't know.
Crazy to see, but it's still not going to matter because Malby has only got a deagle and the rotations are cut off. Not even a kill responded, and Arctic are just going to call this a save.
Yeah, you can hardly blame them for that. They went for a gamble, didn't pay off. When that gamble doesn't pay off, you can just hold on to what you've brought to the table here. Offer up some fight in future rounds and call it a day at the end of it. That's exactly what they do. They're going to fade on out. It's another round for Corinthians, though, off to that 2-0 start, and they do a very good job of defaulting to make sure that they spot out that stack right there. Pretty explosive when it comes to the execution factor, but in terms of gaining that map control, they're slow and methodical.
Eagle might be good for a kill, though. You'll walk into a barrel of ninjas, and I don't think he wants to let you get away scot-free after that one. Yeah, you definitely overpeaked there, my friend, and you're going to get caught. You got.
So 8 alive, not quite the flawless round, but close to it there. Corinthians only dropping one. Pretty clean stuff here. Still, there's a lot of firepower to be brought into this round. Arctic have themselves a decent little chance. Maybe the unfortunate one without it, but a lot of long spawns here for Corinthians. You think they're going to take this? It looks like they're heading that way.
Hey, man, they probably are, but I was hoping they'd be met by some resistance. I just don't think that's going to come in time. Turtle dump in the nade, but the miss connects for more than it should have, considering he didn't want it to bounce off the wall. He just decides to go in with the deagle, raw dogging it, and even finding the opening pick. Even a double ninja just holds it with them, and the molly burns the other who are crisp, but walking away 4 on 3 ain't all that bad. Not too shabby. Oh, never mind. Well, at advantage is giving right back up. We still got to keep our eye on this flank. Malby is pushed in lower tunnels, and if he were to walk forward, CK or ZQK would have no idea what hit him.
CK is out, though. I mean, it's a little gap in the smoke. That's a big shadow advantage for him as well. And they're coming back to clear out Malby. This is great awareness from ZQK. exactly what you need to do. Take no risk in this round, and ZQK does exactly that. They're going to walk into a free B site. In history, try as you might, but I don't think you have too much shot in this round.
You just save it again? I don't think that's a good idea. Like, try to get some extra guns out of their hands. Maybe, like, if you can somehow find Zao, or even just any of these rifles, like, throw it to your teammate or something. Make the buy for yourselves just a little bit easier. You can play with this scout. I mean, I think people understate the scout's effectiveness, even in full buy rounds, but you'd still much rather have the op. That's what I'm trying to get at here. And there's a world where you could get a gun, give it to your teammate, help your buy out in the future. Just save yourself some extra cash.
Looks like he's gonna do. No, none of that. Just holding on to the scout. Did they get rid of those gun storage long? It's just a Galil. There's an AK, but it's being guarded from CK Zhao, so if history did want to try and grow and grab that, you would have been dead to rights, unfortunately for him. And yeah, gets rid of that scout, tosses that out of the map. Good news is he does have armor that he held on to, and that's going to allow him to buy a set of utility. That's, I guess at the end of the day, solid, right? But I can get where you're coming from, where, you know, you just would like to do some damage in rounds prior, and that hasn't really been the case.
I guess he does end up upgrading to the op regardless. So it's really a win-win if you're Arctic Esports. But you need to start getting on the board here soon. I mean, we think about the CT side of Overpass, and maybe there were a couple of cracks to be talked about, but considering how well they ended the first half, didn't really matter all that much. But this is kind of night and day. Corinthians seem to be getting the better of them, at least off the gun. There is still the rest of the half to go. I just want to see more from the CT side.
Yeah, especially, you know, this being the map pick of Corinthians. It's not like we're hopping into a foreign territory here for Arctic, right? They're very comfortable on this map. A lot of playtime, a lot of success on this one. But right now, in the early days at least, it looks like they're stuck in a rut. They're looking to bounce back here. But they're still playing a pretty stock standard setup. In fact, even worse than that. They're playing a gamble towards the B side of things, and if you do see Corinthians go for this catwalk split, that's where things get dicey. They got a lot of utility left in their pockets to throw down towards that A side here. A couple bits of mollies, a lot of smokes, one flash that they have to make use, but they are going to start to collapse. And it's only going to be history, really, to offer up the fight on this front.
You say only history, but when he's gotten his op in his hands, is it only history, really? Feels like it's history and the gods that decide to command with it, but a couple of misses grant them entry pathing into the site for free. They've gotten to kill on the flank, but I don't know if the op misses. Dude, what is up with this gun this game? I don't get it. Everybody is missing with it. In history, he won't even get to fire off another shot. 2 from CT, 1 from Cat. Rather, no, they're all going to be coming in from the lower side of the 2. But this should be a shutdown round for the Corinthians. I don't see a world or a way where you're able to sneak past this defense. 1-for-1 trades, but there's only one kid. And that's now on the back of short. The position he's coming from is very obviously accounted for. He's just going to grab the op and run away. Arctic not able to find the conversion. And I'm telling you, bro, this gun is cursed right now.
Yeah, a lot of missed top shots right there. Like you said, man, history is not one to be doing too much missing either, but the fact that he couldn't get anything on that catwalk executed just shows everything you need to get right there, man. I mean, it all comes down to him finding that advantage, right? Your long player did his job. He found that long lurk. You have to find those cat players right there, and the fact that they were able to walk onto site scot-free is massive for them. It's exactly what they're hoping for.
Well, you're hoping for something to start going your way if you're Arctic, man. I mean, you even had history on the op there, but he's just firing blanks, it seems. Deagle hopefully is stocked, ready to go with the bullets necessary to find these frags, but the boost might provide to be too powerful. Oh, he still sticks around for an extra chance at a commitment, but he'll take that kill with glee and get away.
Gonna start to reaggress here. First catwalk. I guess you don't have to reaggress, right? You have a teammate in history with a flashbang ready and could be primed in for some late reaggression if they want to. Flashbang, the T side comes through. And it all comes down to a game of timing. Flashman going to be premature on the catwalk side of things, and Ninja's going to start to press the issue. And ZQK, lucky to walk away at the moment, has backup as well. This is brilliant. Great cover, but he actually lands the no-scope, and there's a kill to be found here towards middle. Still the collapse in towards short is short to find the kill, and delboNi late flank in, but he doesn't have bomb, he doesn't have the round, doesn't have a chance, and Arctic can find the first.
Everybody upgrades for free. Great stuff from them, and hopefully that gives them the jump start they need to actually find some more success. It's funny, right? Because Corinthians have just come out the gate swinging and get 4 rounds in a row, but as soon as they lose one, it looks like the money is shot.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of extremely clean rounds. I've been able to say 2 rounds prior, they dropped 3 players, and that's that magic number that we often talk about. Once you drop 3 players on that CT side, you're still doing good damage. I guess it is true for both sides of things, but nonetheless, Corinthians hoping to continue the fight. They've got themselves their last chances of buy. Oh, look at this double aggression coming through, but still Denoco going to drop that long range with the Mac 10. Op turns the corner, good for the trade, but it's only an equalizer, and all that space that you work to grab now just taken back.
Ready to break this curse, bro.
Oh,
but he's still left all by his lonesome at the B site. Why is he getting no help? This Molly's gonna burn him up. They've gotten the trade, but at what cost? I mean, the response is not gonna be there in time. But they've left Showtime all by his lonesome. Head spotted. Ponter. Still toying with the idea of giving him this fight, but the bomb's still on a long transition back in to try to get the digits punched in. It'll give plenty of time for the rotates to come through. And hopefully everybody's going to be here to regroup in time before that's needed. Oh, Op isn't even going to be able to find the trade. And with the bomb dropped in the CT's laps, Arctic seemed ready to string things together.
Ponter with a big recovery here. Dole, but sticking his neck out a little too wide. Short's been spotted as well, seemingly. So now it's going to leave him isolated on the site. delboNi, hyper focus on his position. Bomb now recovered. Could isolate these duels. Flash is really well placed. Short going to stick out wide. Another headshot from delboNi, and one more to find. He's got the right angle. And around the corner, he spotted the barrel through the door. He's going to nail the shot. And delboNi pulls off a massive 1v3. What a recovery, because that had no business going Corinthians' way.
Very choreographed, too. I don't like that play, though. I mean, you had, I believe it was Mulby at the back of the site buying so much time for ninjas to come through and rotate in. But he flashes him for a peek. Why not at that point get closer on the window? Self-flash your way above the window wall and peek together so you can find that trade. It just seems impatient from Arctic. All they had to do was wait 2 more seconds and peek together and that round is done. But they isolate themselves and give him 1v1s.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, right? Why would you go for the flash play right there when you have a 2-on-1 position? That's almost never something you want to really do. What is this? That's just bold. Doesn't work out at all. Not a lick of damage done so far. Only a tap onto Showtime here, but it's marginal.
Yeah, but they hold steady with this 5-on-4. The Corinthians are not a team necessarily known to keep over-aggressing after they found men advantages, so they're going to make Arctic force their hand at getting this pick back. And the AWP of history isn't really in the right spot to contest against this just yet. Even flashing up catwalk, maybe eventually they'll come walking into the sight line. But you could see the gears were turning there for the consideration of going for a mid to B crunch. They just don't have the space necessary to comfortably do that just yet.
Good, we gotta see something out of history, right? We've seen many opportunities for this guy to try and change the tides of what this Dust2 has looked like so far, and I don't think he's really offered up enough success. In the meantime, though, a nice stack being placed here on the A side of things. It's the right read. 25 seconds left. They've got to pull the pin on this, and now they've just started to.
Couple of one-way smokes thrown through, and the majority of this defense is stacked up on the A side, if not actually all of it at this point. You've even got Short here to try and collapse in from CT. Probably thrown up, and Denoco bears no attention to it as the utility comes flying through. Still, it's kills, not necessarily in one way or the other. AWP of history might have just won them the round 2. This bomb is still yet to be planted. Is there time to get it down? There just narrowly is, and they don't overextend trying to deny it, but eventually they have to go into these peaks, and delboNi and Zhao shut it down. Everybody starts peeking out for the Corinthians, and that is how you coordinate peaks together. Arctic gets shown up.
Dude. Oh my god, it looked like they were not aware of the clock right there for Corinthians, but just at the right time, that's when they start to punch in the numbers, and that's what matters most, right? At least you convert the round at the end of the day, and honestly, in clean fashion in that 3v3 post-plant, they find all the kills necessary. They peak in unison, like you said. CT side, timeout. But it's getting out of hand right now. Only one round to be said, and I believe that was on one of those weird ecos that Arctic were able to collect.
Yeah, one that if you probably ran back would not go the exact same way. Again, this is going to be an eco called out, though. I mean, the op drop, this is... What is this by? What? Like... What? Dude, I'm just so confused. What is the buy here?
Right? I mean, he's got to be such a hero. I mean, no impact so far. He's playing in towards the mid doors. Taking a page out of the old Furia book here, it seems. Giving this op to history, but again with this play, this flash play towards long. Risky behavior. Ninja spots out nothing. Not a single bit of information gathered from him. Which maybe is a value in his own right, but still. Corinthians are grabbing a lot of space for free now. And again, you give them this full cat control, that's where things can become problematic.
Well, that's exactly what they've just given them, the room, and that's all they desire. The Corinthians throw in a couple of smokes just to try to buy themselves some time to set up. They're all waiting for these to initially fade. One was thrown back by Arctic to delay their actual site take, but I assume as soon as that's gone, they're just going to pull the pin on the execution. 2 at long, 1 on site, 1 in CT, and 1 over towards B. This should be a round that points just every direction of the Corinthians. But a flash goes high, and this Deagle looks to tuck in close. Ponter right behind the smoke, maybe trying to body block here. But not even going to be able to get away with 1. Nothing is snuck under their noses, and with that in mind, Dinoko's here to cut off rotations. This MP9 of Mulby goes 007 lest they find the trade onto Dinoko over in tunnels. And maybe for his own mentality, they are going to try to hunt him down.
Yeah, but playing it way too well right now is Dinoko. He's fallen way out of the picture. Way out of the faces here. CQK may be the next point of contact. And connect he will. Op has to be saved.
Right.
Oh.
Well, what if they save 2 hops?
Oh my god.
What if they save
one more?
Just about anything they wanted?
Okay.
Well, they're going to take this op. They're going to at least try, I think. Or no, okay. I mean, you know he has to be in middle. He couldn't have gotten away by now. And I'm quite surprised they didn't just try to go gung-ho on the double peek and take that out of his hands. But saves it. I guess the hero buy doesn't necessarily come back to bite them entirely. There it is. 007. Malby not able to get anything going.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because I feel like Malby's actually been very good when we've watched him on Dust2 in the past. Not the case right now, though. Polar opposite. I do feel like they would have hunted History down, though, if it wasn't for short, right? That's when you almost guarantee that History was going to go down there. Well, fast boost, though, for History. Nice smoke for long doors. I like this sort of unified effort, but there's no resistance here. Only one player standing, and Ninja somehow finds a kill and gets out of dodge, so nice play from him.
Well, if there's any time for Arctic to start waking up, it's probably around now. If not now. Like, that's a good opening pick to start with, but they need to keep the ball rolling from this point forward. They're taking tons control, so they're staying proactive. They're not just sitting back and now waiting for them to come walking in with a one-man advantage, assuming everything goes well. They still take initiative, and this is good. With full mid-control tons, they can pretty much assume this is just going long. Uh-oh. This could go poorly, though. There's no way they expect that! That's insane! Mulby even takes one for the team, just B-hops out, knowing there's going to be somebody holding them from spawn. But that ensures that it has to be going long. They've got just about every piece of info in the book. If they lose this round, Arctic, I don't think I have anything left to say for them on this map.
Still a pretty deadly long attack, though. 3 players left standing. You got these individuals that are rising to the occasion. delboNi included in that mix, but this smoke, we've seen it so many times. And it works out once again. 1 kill, make it a double. History knows these angles to a T. And that will be a round converted right there. Corinthians going to be safe for the next 30 seconds. And they do win the important one. The one that they have the great read on.
I mean, like, they kind of better have. Like, I'd like to applaud what Arctic do there, but past that tons push, I was almost upset. The fact of the matter is, Arctic could have very easily let that round slip. And they had literally every advantage in the book. Like, here's my question. You've just spotted fully into middle, all the way through tunnels, into T-spawn, up catwalk, CT, on B. You know where they have to be. There's nobody on A site. I mean, hell, History had to sprint back up catwalk just to ensure that it didn't go completely unguarded. Like, if he's not there, they get the bomb down. They play the post plant. They look for extra frags. And with only one man of an advantage, that's why I'm saying it could have slipped so easily.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for History, he's able to get himself in the perfect position just in time to deal with that long presence. And that's what's so very key right there. At the end of the day, you're able to capitalize on that round. Now you need to make it a double. You cannot afford to lose this one, because you grab this round, you can start clawing back at this half. You can start making strides in things here. But it has to start now. It has to start with another one. They need to get 2 in a row here. Oh.
They desire. But in reality, if you're playing for Arctic right now, you desire like an 8-7 finish. Maybe even, like, I don't know, 9-6 at bare worst. Like, anything of consistency is what they'll take. This off isn't really in grounds to contest. They've taken mid control, and I don't think they've let on anything to let them know that this is what's happening.
Yeah, they're very quick about this one. Mid to B already being pressed in upon. Flashbang not really well timed. Ponter going to go out a little bit premature. Now it leaves Malby finally with his first, but cannot convert on a multi-kill right there. And how could he close in upon from all angles here? History misses his shot. Oh, what a disaster. He loses a teammate because of it. Brutal stuff, and now an equalization, a 2-on-2, but those B-side retakes, they can lead to nothing good.
And they've got some utility. Where's this molly gonna go? Not necessarily in the right spot, but there's also a smoke to block off car and or tunnels with extra utility now spotted on the floor, but they need to start using it up. I mean, they're just kind of going in dry, and this timer is really starting to tick against them. They don't even give it an attempt. I mean, Arctic, guys. Like, that can't happen. I mean, sure, we're all human, History misses. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that, like, they could have won that retake very easily. And even before that, I mean, Ponter finds the opening kill from sight, right? 5-on-4. He peeks out. Like, in what world is that going well? Maybe if there's a crossfire, a distraction from CT, but that CT player didn't throw in any utility. He didn't spam. He didn't flash. It's just Ponter solo peeking. There's no reason for that unwarranted aggression. They could have maybe just thrown the flash in, stalled the push, give extra time for the rotation, smoked off doors. There's a lot of things they could have done that didn't involve just giving up their lives.
Yeah, it seemed like the set piece there in terms of retaking control of middle was not all there, right? Ponter peeked before the flash landed when he peeks out of doors, and like you said, is that peek even necessary at the end of the day? Is that something you really want to be bringing in that late into the round? You couple that with just no resistance for that mid control, and you got yourself the easiest round Corinthians could have ever asked for, right? There's got to be some resistance on this mid attack, and none of it taking place there. Not even in this round, it seems like. A straight stock standard B execute here. Flashes are really well placed. A double entry with the Mac 10. It's over. It's easy as that. Another round converted from Corinthians.
When was the last time you saw that work? Ever. On a full rifle round. What? I'm just speechless.
Not fun. Not fun to deal with at all, man. This is just textbook coming through from Corinthians. Like you said, you don't see that all that often. Not a straight B rush here. Up against what was a very strong investment. Arctic, again, with the lack of resistance to be told. It's a Mac 10 that double opens on them. And that's I feel like that's one of those rounds right there that you start to get over frustrated with. You start to set your sights towards a third map here. Because we're getting towards that territory.
Dude. I can't tell whether that was insanely impressive from the Corinthians or one of the biggest blunders I've ever seen on Dust2. I mean, that just doesn't happen. That's usually a recipe for a molly thrown down, a quick farm up. I mean, hell, the infamous Stewie 6K clip was when he died to his own Molotov and got the ace. Like, those rounds don't work. But somehow, Corinthians pull it off. And you can see Arctic, not necessarily left with a good taste in their mouth, want to force a response. 2 players in the lower tunnels, and Corinthians have slowed it down, knowing that some aggression is going to come through.
At least you got some resistance to be brought into the table here, but Short misses that first opportunity. No way you're ready for that. ZQK punishing Ponter in the worst possible way. They're out B. Not a lot of defensive measure to be brought into the table, but I do love this dive in from Malby. He grabs himself a multi-kill there. His teammates going down around him. History stepping through the flames, and the bomb's been dropped on the B bomb site. This time there is a lot of resistance to be offered up, but CK Zhao hot on the flank. He might be able to catch the Opper off guard.
That's good information. He just spotted one on the cross. And if he can scope out this barrel of history, then hold on. I mean, all hell might break loose. Smallbeat turns his attention back in towards middle, but it seems like he's behind enemy lines here. A good pickup from CK Zhao, but that frag coming back at least cements where history's going to be lying in. Drops back into the site. Oh, they glanced at each other, but history is able to land the readjustment in time. ZQK doesn't hold steady enough. And at least Arctic walk away with another round.
Massive lifeline, and that's off the back of Malby heating up there as well, man. He found himself a big couple of kills there to save the day when that B side was going wrong. He dove through a molly. He did what he needed to do to win that round, and that hasn't always been the case here for Arctic. He hasn't always been finding himself multi-kills. In fact, that was the first time he's gotten it. That's the first time he's broken the single-digit mark. He was on 0 for quite some time.
I'll call Corinthians still just making sure they maintain the stead that they've got in front of themselves. It's not going to be a great buy to come through, but I've seen Arctic drop the ball harder, so I honestly don't know. I mean, I'd like to say Arctic have this round to a T, but who knows, man? Not only have the Corinthians been really good at ecos this series, but Arctic just have not been showing up on Dust2.
Not at all. Definitely didn't expect this result. Looks like they just have a lack of coordination on this defense here. So much easy space created. Flashbang out towards the long. They want to push the smoke. It looks like they are. Flashes are really well placed, and the op shot never rattles off. But oh, history steps out wide for a collateral. That's a big double kill, but his teammate's gone down in the meantime here, so it's an equalization. Not quite. Man advantage still maintained.
They've given up full long control. I mean, I think this is all in an effort to try to retake middle, but they're really gambling that the Corinthians don't just pull the pin on an A-side execute right now. Like, they assume with those 2 kills, Corinthians are just going to completely disengage from what their game plan was. But I think Short is soon going to snoop into the fact and clue into what's actually going on right now. Still not going to turn his attention back to Catwalk. In fact, he's going to play the long con, going all the way around through the long doors. No, he just takes an unnecessarily long way up Catwalk. Okay.
Taking a detour, and oh, that comes back to haunt him right there. Not only that, he's dropped in a smoke that Dinoko's just dropped into his Catwalk. Look at this cutoff. Flashbang through it. He's blinded up by it, but able to adjust in time. Oh, what a disaster. Like you said, Arctic have fumbled this round many times before, and Dinoko traced down eventually, but they're losing numbers. History has found himself a 3K, but he hasn't found himself a round just yet. He still has to fight tooth and nail for it. Amali going in towards site. It's going to not flush out absolutely anybody. And CK Zhao, apologies, ZQK, going to shut things down and finish the job.
You, bro, it's intentional. They do it to mess us up. there's no other reason.
It's bizarre. This is the only time I think I've struggled this much with messing up like a name. I don't even know. Like, I've casted Apex Rebels versus Apex Legends, and that's been easier to do than getting these two players' names right. Why did he put the C there, man?
He doesn't even use the CZ. Like, come on. If maybe you were like a CZ god, kind of like Amanek 10, like Matt 10, then it makes sense. But you don't even have it equipped. I don't know, man.
Ooh.
Ninjas is certainly not happy either, and rightfully so, right? I mean, this name is just so frustrating. You want to mow them all down with an MP9. And now it's history to take care of the CZ man himself as they move back up into the A site. They're not playing these little childish games. He moves continuously upwards, and a couple of shots missed, but in the end, he'll respond for that third. And Arctic, not completely speechless in this half, potentially a fifth. The 10-5 half would be karma to what happened to them in the first map.
It would be a little taste of their own medicine. Equally bleak, though, both being on that CT side that they couldn't really offer up any resistance, right? So, positions not great, even if you close this last round out, and I think you should. You got yourself a good chance to. Limitations on the investment. Everyone getting ready for that B rush here, but we've seen this go wrong once before, and again, man, they really left Malby alone here.
Keep doing it. They haven't learned from their mistakes, but maybe now they have. At least Malby has on the individual standpoint as the flashes come barreling in. This is where the peaks are warranted. Arctic ended off on a high note with a fifth now in their back pocket, trying to move forward and pull this game back. It's the T side of Dust2.
Nice and tidy there to close. Malby, again, man, he's still at the bottom of the scoreboard, but he's shown some resurgence in the late stages of the first half, and you know, better late than never if you can get this guy activated. I feel like he's a pretty important piece of Dust2 for this Arctic team, at least what we've gathered from him out of the past, so pressure on this pistol, that's for sure. Flashbang in the hands of history. He's the only one with a flashbang. Where's he going to throw that one out? Thought maybe towards long, but instead short, just going to take a jump peek. Showing some shoulder here. Not showing real presence. And maybe for the best right now because there are 4 players around that corner.
This flash is going to come through and they're going to get this information, but I think Arctic hear that flash pop across the map. And you could see them maybe putting a little more pep in their step as they explode out middle. Smoke for the cross too, so while you figured out what's going on, it doesn't seem like you've done it in time. And they even spotted Dinoco at the back of the B-bomb, so he's going to get crunched in from window, and the response is just not there. One tag landed, but in a 4-on-5, you've still got to work against history. The P250, maybe not as clean and tidy as you would have hoped, but still walks away with 2 and some damage. Keep giving this one a go in on the retake, but Ponter's just closed it out pretty much single-handedly. delboNi, all he can really hope to do is save on 5 HP. There will be no extra pistol clutch. Arctic, pick it up and move up 6 to 10.
Too shabby. Not that bad right there from Arctic. Get that crucial pistol. Again, it's all about continuing that round count here. Keeping it rising. Up against a force buy, though, of course. To try and answer things about the double scout, which I love to see at Dust2. Always going to be exciting to see those scouts come out. Ooh.
That's a bad Molotov to miss, because with that, they have taken lower tons control. But I think they're going to keep this on their radars that this is definitely a possibility. Showtime's that spotted them at 10. Not actually good for the frag. Hold on a second. delboNi is still tucked into the corner. And I don't know if he's going to be all that weary to give up the peak. Just hold steady, hold still. Does this kill come through? Oh, it looks like it might. Yes, the headshot connected. And they don't actually go anywhere yet. Finally, they decide, let's just go out B before things get too far gone. Smokes and mollies come through, but I don't think their teammate and Ponter is going to be anywhere close to try to help. Wait, what is happening here? He hears these footsteps, and he hears the AK reload too, but he's going to have to hurry it up, man.
Yeah, I feel like if he could have peeked down towards middle, maybe he could have shut this round down before it ever gets scary. Now, very fearful are the 2 remaining on this site. Questions lie in as to where these remaining CTs are coming from, but information gathered from ninjas, and soon Ponter's going to clear out all of the mid side. They are going to funnel through tunnels, and that's not ideal.
Good flash too, and ninjas is going to use the one way that they just threw in scout. Oh wow, good for the shotgun shot. but still, it comes so close and there's no kit, so I think this round is pretty much already done. Yeah, it's just all about how much damage they can or can't get, and the AK of ZQK is going to get the hell out of dodge, go back in a T-spawn. They do some good damage, but in the end, Arctic are able to hold on.
One's lifting the trophy of the round. ZQK is going to walk away at least with an AK. So something to be brought in. And it's good damage as well. I mean, a couple of solid check marks in for the Corinthians. And you're still rocking with the slight lead, slight advantage. And that should maintain up until that first gun round here. Don't expect too much out of this one. Drop that AK over to Showtime wouldn't be a bad idea. Got the armor. Okay, no. Good thing ZQK bought into some armor here, so he'll hold on to that.
Well, they go back and run it out long. So far, no damage taken by either one of these squads, but the info is most certainly noted by the Corinthians, who fall back into the A site and hope to play passively for this defense. Only inches away from an Arctic site take. Flash and mollies, they don't hesitate. They decide to just make haste and seize the day with what they've been granted. AK at long range, looking to hunt for this opening pick, but as it shows face, maybe it causes some change of heart? No. In fact, they want to even go faster now. You see this utility continuously thrown through, and they keep doing all this damage. Scout to finally add up for the first pick, but now they back away.
Okay. Trying to reroute. Not into the Deagle, though, surely. Don't want to give him too many opportunities. delboNi actually walking away worse for wear on that occasion. Back up towards the long side they go. Some indecision here in the Arctic camp. I don't know if this is going to be the end of the world for them. They can get away with it on a round like this. But when we talk about trends, it cannot continue when the rifles are out. That's when things can become scary. And even a round like this could become scary. Somehow Ninja's matrixing the bullets there as he crosses in towards sight, taking a lot of space on 10 HP. And he will flame it. Even finds a kill.
So much spinning back at this 5-7, though. It's discipline, but I don't know if it's all that warranted at this point. Bomb's going to go down as he tries to get the lucky jump shot off. The AK up catwalk. Still finding trades, but eventually he's just going to either have to save or... Oh, man. He's going out of there.
Hightailing it. Peace out. See you later. Not interested. That round count going to rise on up to an 8th here. CQK. Oh, he's just going to play some soccer. That's all. But
doesn't even score a goal, though. Kind of cringe.
True. Yeah, you can kick that around. Come on now. But another one closed out. Arctic quickly scaling back into this game. 8 now on the board here. 2 to close. The distance.
Ops reinvested, though. The Corinthians finally throw a buy out of the hat. And the money's still not all that there, so if the Arctic Esports team are able to capitalize upon this and take it, then you're probably staring at what could easily be a tie game. Zanoko, though, holds his own, takes care of the mobby, jump over into pit, not able to catch the flank, or rather, the fallback of Showtime as he goes back into the site. ZQK, him and his op have seen better days, though, taking a couple of tags via the Molotov and gunfire through the smoke.
Dinoco making that A1S look like a P90 right there with how he was running and gunning. But still, it's only a 1-for-1 trade at the end of the day. That looked like a very specific lineup for what is, in theory, easy smoke to throw out. And there's a massive gap in it. Still, though, they're going to move on past it. A boost up on towards the site is going to enable ZQK to maybe take some fights elsewhere here. In the meantime, it's only Short who's encouraged, enabled to make some deep strides into this bomb site here, and the cross smokes have been thrown out as well.
Molly on response, Showtime, basic stuff, spam. I was worried that was going to come through. Same thing goes to Showtime, though, who comes through that smoke, trying to pepper in some lucky bullets, maybe not weary of how shallow the smoke actually was. Now you tune to the op of ZQK, even blinded up by the fire that's thrown through the Corinthians. Are they going to consider a save here? I think they might. Already see them falling away in CT spawn, and they're giving it up again.
What? No fight in this round, not at all. Bailing out of this within seconds. of finding that second kill from short, and I love the way that they played that one out, right? A lot of teams, once they throw those cross smokes, they're making a lot of noise trying to cross it out, but they send short alone. A one-man army to claim that bomb site right there, and when they try and throw in a couple smoke spams, some gimmicks, short's well prepped it way past the line of sight from Corinthians. So now we're looking at tied scorelines here, and this is more like what we expect from Arctic. You know, I didn't expect them to bring it out on their T side, but it's very welcomed.
Especially when you needed the people to start performing, right? Short wasn't quiet, but he wasn't as loud as we've seen him before. And same thing goes for ponter, who's had one hell of an impact so far on this T side. And that doesn't also include the fact that Mulby is another one of these players who's starting to wake up a little bit. A couple of kills in the early stages of this too. So everybody is really like contributing to this puzzle solving.
Been a full team effort. Great calls as well coming through. First gun round, yeah, pretty handily goes in their way. The only kill from Corinthians was that run and gun shot from Denoco, so double up to try and respond. Maybe this can be a solution. Bringing this this out early though. Here into the CT half, and they dropped this. They've ran out of space. They've run out of a lead.
Well, the double up comes out in the nick of time to try to secure that doesn't go away just yet. But if they do lose this one, then barring they don't run for the hills again and get allowed the three-man save, then they're going to be in for a world of hurt here, where this T side has not been able to deliver just about anything. And they're even going to beat this smoke, go way ahead of it. Short still got one to throw back in if they want to use this as cover to go in from mid to B. Flashes are not going to help them out very much. In fact, come to their own hindrance. Showtime peeking off what he thought would be a perfectly executed flashbang, but only to his own demise. This is all bait and switch too. They're going up catwalk right now, continuing to pull these players across towards the B site. Denoco's been heard, but the same thing goes vice versa. Knowing he's going to be in the long doors, it's a really good shotgun op trade from history, but the defense is split. Zhao fully blinded up, doesn't fire up a shot just yet. Another one pops over the wall. Can he get this one? He certainly can, but the trades still favor the likes of Arctic, and they're going to attempt this retake. But little do they know, Molly is still waiting for the rotations to come through. As soon as this bomb gets planted, all they've got to worry about is spawn. And with the footsteps heard, Molly is certainly soon to activate, and that might be his cue.
Double nade on short side. That's going to take kill. Oh, no. I think the nades have missed on a short. I think they're falling out of this one. This time, Malby got to cut off this point of rotation. No, doesn't peek out. He's wanting to make sure that he maintains this round, but yeah, they're going to save. I mean, this has been every single round. Corinthians, there's only so many chances that you can go with to save. You're running out of them quickly, man. You gotta try for one of these rounds eventually. This is getting absurd at the moment. Losing control of the game so quickly, they're honing in on them.
I don't know if a save is going to be all that easy to pull off, to be quite honest with you. Like, they've got players coming through doors, you've got a lurk coming through tunnels, and here comes the peek from short to deny the oppa save. Should be picked back up by Zhao, but only one man staying alive. They're going to throw one more investment out of the hat. And that's just to hang on. 5 in a row from Arctic, and it finally warrants a timeout from the Corinthians.
Lead's fallen at the wayside. How has it come to this so quickly? 5 in a row. 5 long rounds as well, man, because Corinthians, every single time, it's been bomb detonations, it's been saves of multiple members, and all this just netting Arctic a lifeline back into this one here. It's 10 to 10, and they are looking comfortable as ever.
I always notice, though, when teams like this, like, end up finding a tie game, when you get these 5 rounds in a row, when you finally crack the code, rather the conversion of a tie game, they always lose the next round. Arctic, teams like this always lose this round right here. Call me crazy, but it's just what happens. Call that Ant's Law.
See if maybe that can come true. Maybe off the back of some timeouts, a reality check, a wake-up call here for Corinthians as they see that 10 on the scoreboard for Arctic this time. It's not them that are healthy in the lead. And in fact, even with that string of rounds, now it's 7 in a row. Believe it or not, that Arctic have been able to bring together to get us here. To get us into a competitive game.
Yeah.
Complete vacation of that long side of things.
Oh, I mean, this catwalk take, it's going to be risky. Op shot fires off. Almost a peek committed through to CQK. He is eating a lot of damage. 44 health as he falls to, and a lot of this utility's baited out of the CT's hands. Only 4 flashbangs and a molly left to stop them from going into either one of these sites. And another big ping is, right now, like, they have mid control. Short is getting ready to dump in this mid smoke, and they're going to go ahead and crunch into B. They find this kill into delboNi, round done, round over. They're going to commit to the save again and just go into the next round trying to pull it back there. But how do you possibly fend off the B site against 5T? Spotting a man in the corner. delboNi is stuck out of the window, but somehow still able to lock in another kill. And with CZK, how do they shut this down? 1v4 and history is too late to the punch. I told you, man. Ant's Law never fails.
History not going to be able to save this op, I'd say most likely. Love that he's swinging out wide. He knows that time's limited. He has to die right there. Very wise of History to go down with the ship. And finally, Corinthians, they win their first of the defensive side of things there. That's massive. Perfectly timed. I'm going to say, man, I do feel like it was a bit of fortune favoring them, though. CK Zhao somehow able to get away with that position. Left side of the B tons is everything right there because they spotted him coming in through the mid side of things, right? You're completely exposed to doors in that position, and the fact that the mid players didn't go for that kill is a bit absurd. Nonetheless, they're able to close it out.
I also like the hesitation on that flashbang there. I mean, it's a very small and minute touch, but it's a really good one to keep note of because they just waited on reaction to see if Corinthians threw anything. Whereas, it is only one flashbang, but if they throw that molly, throwing it is just wasting it, where you can just maybe try to wait that molly out and throw it back in to try to retake long control instead of just take it off the start.
Gonna walk in towards this long setup here. This smoke is going to isolate. CQK not popping a shot off there, at least splitting the goalpost. A lot of damage taken here. Dinoco needs to step it up. Only one though, and then done. Dusted here. Reclaiming this control. History's got coverage of his teammates, though, and it leaves ZQK on low margins. Flashing up the catwalk. Doesn't blind up him at all. He's going to continue to stand in this car position. Molly forces his hand. He peeks out wide. He's going to drop because of it. And another kill coming through catwalk. Malby stepping it up in a big way. And side access claimed a 1v3 for delboNi. And historically, this is a sure save. We'll see if history repeats itself.
Not going to give him anything. So you know what? You can take that save. We know you're going to, and tie things right back up. And this is going to be the worst buy I think we've seen in a while from the Corinthians. Oh, actually, now that I take a glance over at it, 2,900 buckaroos, delboNi can drop, ZQK can buy. I think it should be a half buy. Like a couple of deagles, maybe you see a rifle come out. They've already called a timeout. And I assume that's what it's for, to discuss the funds and really think about what's going to happen.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, right? There's many different decisions, avenues of approach that they could go for, so. Right now, they're in kind of a position where it seems like half-buy territory, like you said, but I don't know, man. delboNi with quite a bit of reserve. ZQK with 5k as well. I mean, you could drop a gun over, man. This could be a pretty deadly buy. And Corinthians definitely need to reclaim some control here.
I mean, they do. This CT side is spiraling out of control just about as fast as you can imagine. It's 6-1 right now. That's not to say if we count the extra rounds Arctic got at the beginning, or rather at the end of that first half, it's 8-1. Ever since it was 10-3, it's all been the Arctic show. And now with funds in their favor, they go for... Okay, I thought this was a forced buy, but no, it is just a half. With the saved over AWP, the only real investment they make around it is an M4 and an MP9. Other than that, just some extra nades, some upgraded pistols to ensure that if it comes down to a close fight, there's going to be a chance for Corinthians.
Can't really put some hate on a half buy, right? Especially one with this much fighting power to it.
I think they heard that fadeaway, though. I'm pretty sure Showtime was close enough to hear history make a run out.
Yeah, I think you're right. And
even if he doesn't capitalize on it, like, he can just surmount the defense around this. Yeah,
I mean, even still, like, Showtime's probably hearing some pretty valuable information of all of these players repositioning towards the top of mid. They're looking to collapse in. A flashbang setup. Oh, no. But Ninja shuts it down. The nice little 2K. Two-piece towards the mid side of things. And look at this. Just ratty angle from Ponter. If Showtime wants to continue his pressure in through long, he's going to have no luck.
Playing it at a bit of an off angle, but still not necessarily showing himself behind the doors. Arctic Esports once again slow it down and wait for the pace to be made by the Corinthians. 53 seconds to go, and there is an open avenue if they can identify it. That's catwalk. But if they go into B, oh, they're going to come waltzing straight into the trap of this AWP. Showtime's going to give it up, though. This nasty angle from Ponter finally activates, and with that in mind, I think he and Ninjas are both going to try to take space up into that B site, rather A site. Oh, dropped short. Almost surefire gonna get traded out. Wait, is nobody gonna clear this? Yeah, they finally are. Molly's gonna peek above the smoke, find it. And while the buy's gonna come out in this next round, again, it is gonna be doomsday scenarios for the Corinthians. The first lead they drop on Dust2 comes close to the finish line.
Yeah, what a string of rounds to get here as well, man. Arctic punching back so nicely in the second half, man. History stepping up with the AWP as well. He's kind of leading the pack, right? But everyone else behind him, even Malby, has very quickly closed the distance. It's really good to see. This guy was at 0-9 at one point. So, I mean, when you talk about the resurgence of him individually and the comeback as well from Arctic, he's a heavy hitter now on this T side.
There's really good support, too, coming out from him. The flashbangs coming through late while there isn't a peak because they're waiting out that Molotov. Those are only to secure that he can stay alive and maintain long control. They needed Short to stay here, and that's what he does. Great teammate coming through. And now it seems like they're gearing up for an A hit. You've got Ninja still here to cut off all the rotations if things go right. But you always worry, right? What if they don't? What if you get shut down on the initial take and Ninja's being there could have changed the round? That's the risk you take when you go to situations like this.
Ninja's always been so effective on the lurk so far, though. You do like him being able to force his hand elsewhere on the map, maybe cause some attention to be drawn in. Once again, a lot of map control maintained from Arctic. I gotta give him so much credit. They're doing a great job of working the map at the moment. This late catwalk take coming through from short is definitely going to help out. And look at this. Ponter up close and personal towards long.
This is a four-man stack on A right now, and they're getting ready to try to counter this. They're still in op here in play, and I think the head's been spotted. Do you want to peek into it, though? I'm really not all that certain. Oh, that's the bomb.
Oh, this is so sick from Melby.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. Op drops, and you've got to go for this retake. It's not like you can continue going for these saves. You have to pull one of these off, but you keep losing manpower by the second. Op of history wanted to close it down. But in the swift way, he's getting shut down himself, and CK Zhao continues up from CT spawn. Ponter's holding the angle. Arctic up to 13, and the Corinthians. Now it's going to be the pistols. Now it's going to have to be that save, and now it's probably going to be 14.
Good lord. Now we're talking about pressure here for Corinthians, man. I wasn't really getting to that point, right? We're talking about qualification on the line for Arctic. They're getting closer and closer to that spot. And it's totally, you know, gone on for me so far, but they're 3 rounds away from qualifying for the RMR. And the last qualifier as well. Their last opportunity to make it here. And in this fashion, a 2-0 to best the likes of Corinthians of all teams. A roster that's made their name known at an RMR once before. Might not be seeing that just yet.
Two smokes left. That's all the utility that's out to play, but that's really not going to matter all that much. I mean, ZQK, not to diss on him or anything, but he hasn't done anything this map. When he's got the op, when he's got the scout, he's been so silent. And it's almost a contributing factor to why the CT side's been so stale, so left out to dry, because you don't have that star impact from anybody right now. I mean, delboNi, he's always delivering when he's tested. Sure, I will not discredit him whatsoever, but you can't just have one player who's holding up his own weight and that be all you're here to show for.
100% agree, right? delboNi has been a rocks for them, but at this point, you're going to need a little bit more. Nothing's going your way. Can't execute into a single player. Single pistol. That's all the defense that they have up to muster, but a fast flank could be good. Malby needs to turn his attention in time, and a clothesline from delboNi, who again has been always so sharp. It's still history to trade, and everyone on Arctic stepping up in the feed, man. This is why it's working so well. It's 3 kills in unison to shut things down, and history looking to double down finally. There's a couple of kills in response, making things a bit awkward here. Short's picked up the AWP, missing some shots on the catwalk there, but again, you feel like it's Only a matter of time before this one's closed. 16 HP. Does he seriously have a round to his name? What is that? Attack on a ponter through the box. An AK to be saved, maybe. No, he grabs it instead. Double backs. I love that he's actually attempting this, but I am dead wrong.
Yeah, what was that?
His max money, 2,800. I guess he had no time. Maybe that's why.
No, you can't really excuse it, bro. Like, they need to, if not for the fact of winning the round, for the fact of taking guns away. Like, there's so many of these rounds that the Corinthians, 3-on-4, 2-on-3, like, here's the problem. It's not only frustrating to watch, but it's also just not smart. Like, I get you're in the lead. I get it's not a bad call to save, but when you do it consistently, when they've got momentum, when they're coming back, when you can't get anything going, you're only setting yourself up for failure. All it tells Arctic is, we can waste all our utility we want in this early round. We find an opening couple of kills. If we get the bomb down with an advantage, you're just going to save. So there's no point in saving our utility. There's no point to try to waste it or keep it for the late round.
Full gun round.
That's a big loss to take. CQK is down. No op to help him.
And no help for Denoko as well. Look at this on an island. 2 players closing in. History gonna drop him. How is this round so easy? Ponter still on the lurk. Covering this mid angle. delboNi gonna slowly walk into his crosshair. Thank you very much. That's an easy kill for Ponter. Will get traded. Round done. Save gonna be called out, man, but they're saving on series point. Sure, you're gonna walk away with an op, but that op has had no impact in this second half.
Yes, this is the only save you can warrant, because this is literally impossible.
Yeah.
Like, you're not winning this round, even if you try it. And he's gonna get one tap too. Mulby says, sit the hell down, buddy. You're not saving that weapon into the next round. And that's either going to leave a big question. Does delboNi buy it and drop it? Does he keep it for himself? Or do they go without an op in the penultimate round? Well, the decision's been made, and they give it to the trusty ZQK. If anybody can bring it back right now, it's going to be on the back of him waking up.
Yeah, he needs to wake up, though. That's just it, right? This half has been limited in impact, to say the least. He has had no success consistently. He's been left out to dry many times before here, and oh boy, it doesn't look too pretty.
Wasted smoke, though. That's big. There's nothing to be left on B tunnels right now. Like, if they were to go fight at B, they could just do it raw. Can't be stopped.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, right? And again, we see a very, very weird setup going on. A lot of attention drawn in towards long, but again, every step of the way that we've seen rounds like this, Arctic have done a great job of isolating these fights towards long. That's one thing that consistently remains true. Utility being tossed in towards mid. They're looking to try and grab some space here. That's what they've done just now. Have control of that catwalk in some sense. Have control of middle. Perfect flash, but Ninja's going to take actually the brunt of that FAMAS spray. Showtime unconfirmed damage, but still, it's at least a start for them.
Smoke comes through, but you still have to toy with the idea of a potential peek to come straight through it. So this is actually a pretty well-established defense right now, especially if they don't clear out Showtime. Yeah, he's sat in the corner. This should be bound and destined for a trade, but 2 players on B still looking to defend is going to be a lot easier to actually get accomplished than it would be the other way. But wait, whoa. Right now, they're going to be going up into A.
They beat him.
They've completely curveballed it. The op is still in the middle of the bomb site, but if there's any place it can show up, it's going to be on the catwalk hold. They walk into it, and it's the specialty of the big green. Isolated by a Molotov, but they get shut down from the flank. But that's a big loss. Unrecoverable? No, Denoko grabs it from the T's hands, and the Corinthians stay alive.
Around to stay afloat right there, but they're still treading water. That's all they're doing right now. Corinthians staying alive in a round like that, man. Again, it seemed like that mid-round rotation, that mid-call coming through from Arctic was right. It was a great idea. The issue is that I think they jumped the gun on some of the utility game. You got to have some of those standard smokes thrown out. You got to have, you know, at least some utility to benefit. Yeah, maybe they didn't even expect that op from CQK, but nonetheless, like you had said, if it's ever going to be a 4 rounds strung together, if they're going to find that, it has to be off the back of ZQK waking up.
I mean, he kind of did it. He showed up right there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like Arctic kind of tunnel vision that round, you know? Like, you can only tell because that first play coming up through middle you know, it's a one-for-one trade, but with how low Ninjas was, they really just didn't want to risk it, knowing that wasn't one of the B players. So the reason I say it's tunnel vision is because of how impromptu that the cat take is going back up. They aren't playing together. It's uncharacteristic of Arctic. There's no coordination. It's not really with one another, you know? Also, no smokes left for Corinthians 30 seconds into the round.
Yeesh. Molly is actually on that B side, which is promising. Lurk smoke and Molly baited out, though. Oh, don't toss it. It goes in. That's the last bit of deterrence utility that they have over towards that B side, man. And that's scary stuff. If they did want to pull off this B execute, it'd be shots and shots alone. Sharp shooting coming through from the duo right now on B, but they're stacking over another. This is good signs. They have the right idea. They're bringing Showtime in to try and hold off the site. Full execute, though. Arctic have made this work once before, right? With their executes.
This is why. This is the only flashbang you're really going to be able to use. Couple of Molotovs come through, and now Ninjas wants to come in with the backstab, but he's only pulled Showtime off of the actual bomb site. delboNi's here to hold, and history 1v5 left alone. Already picked apart two. Smoke to be thrown in on the doors with a flash to come through right behind it. Showtime getting ready to peek off the flash of his own teammates. History still stuck behind the big box, and still, Corinthians stay strung into it, and maybe even a double op to be recovered again. No, they don't pick it up. But this is a save now, so we're going the distance.
Maybe they can invest a little bit here, but like you had said, I think you're exactly right. They're going to go for like a half by some Tech 9s in the mix. So 30 seems likely at the moment. Overtime required here, maybe. Oh boy. Corinthians have some life left in them. Out of nowhere, pulling this one out of the hat. I still like this purchase from Malby. He's going in for the Hero AK. They've got a lot of firepower, so this round is by no means easy. And maybe, what? Is that from Showtime?
No.
Not like this. Not a mistake like that. An easy pickoff right there. And a dink onto another one. Still, though, somehow they've traded things back into their favor.
They keep holding it down. Just play calm, play smart, hold the line. No reason to overextend just yet. It is just one pick being lost. The nades were slam dunk on the money. Greatly placed. And one kill is not going to mean the end of days. Now, anything more, and it could start to tip the tides in favor of Arctic. Eagle of Ninja's gonna peek back up too. You cannot let him have this headshot. Janoko, what have you given away? One of the 100 HP players falls, tumbles. ZQK with little to no assistance. Flash is gonna come back in, and they are gonna try to sell this one home. Nade should be good enough on the short for that first frag. And thankfully, they're gonna hold this one down, or maybe not. Okay, thankfully, they do. Malby still layers in an extra kill, so it wasn't speechless, but it was good stuff for what's going to lead into the last round of regulation. Arctic, if they close this series out, I think it's right here. If this goes to overtime, I think that's just too much for the Corinthians to not have to take this home.
Yeah, again, this is where pressure can come into call here, right? You got a whole lot of experience on this Corinthians roster, so if they want to stay alive, it's up to them to do so here. They're the ones that have made it to the RMRs before. They're the ones with the plethora of experience on this roster, but as for the young guns on Arctic, some of these names, not so much.
They beat the punch. They've gone all the way up, and they've just spotted somebody going back into the B site. They've got to do something off of this. You can easily split the defense right now. Oh, and I think they are. You could see the gears are turning once again. They might just try to run it back on that mid to B crunch, keep players on A, sell a fake with these flashbangs. And short smoke would just be the end of days. Now, actually getting into B has been easier said than done for them in these past couple of rounds. Going in front of the smoke, above it too! Zao! That could have been the game-deciding pick. If it was given up, then you can pretty much just chalk it up to the scoreboard, but now he's getting flanked from every which way. Ponter delivering on his 25th. They know another player still in the back of the bomb site. How quick can the trade be delivered? There it is, 3-on-3. And in a very weak, retake-heavy team, the Corinthians could stumble at the final hurdle. Bomb gonna go down with the smoke thrown in on the doors. And 50 seconds is all that separates Arctic from potential RMR qualification. Their trip to Sweden almost locked in with 3 more kills. Last smoke thrown in too. There's only a couple of pieces of utility left for both of these teams. Not a single flashbang for the CT side. That could just settle it right there. Could be the difference maker. And there comes that smoke, an attempt to fake the flashbang, but Malby is still sat under the window, just trying to play off the timing, spotting the first head, even delivering the first kill. It's up through doors, it's up through window, all up to CZQK with the op. He can't get it done. And 16-14, a 10-5 half, barring a comeback, means Arctic are your last qualificants for the Americas RMR.
Oh, absolutely electric. What a way to close as well, man. You thought that they were coming back into that thing. You thought they were going to punch back right there. But at the end of the day, that's not the case, man. Arctic step it up. They close things out and they take out, you know, what was that once qualified RMR team in Corinthians, the one that brought the experience to the table. And they're going to take it right from them in the last hurdle. That's so